Hi, I'm Steve from Steve's True History and Knowledge channel. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting. My channel is called Steve's True History and Knowledge channel. And what I do is I research topics that I'm interested in, and then I share them share my findings here on YouTube. So if you're interested in certain topics such as history, the history of Egypt, history of man, history of evolution, of religion, health, how to live longer, stuff like that, then that's what my research is mostly based on. So if you're interested in those kind of topics, then you may want to subscribe to my channel. Today I'm continuing on in my series on kind of a evolution of religion and origins of religion and man. And I believe this is the 13th video. And today I'm going to be discussing the great apes and kind of the history of the primates. And I think that's it. So let's just go ahead and get started. Let us now discuss the importance of the great apes, who we cannot leave out of the evolutionary process. They will help to complete a piece of the evolutionary tree. The primate called proconsul is a great starting point. Mary Leakey discovered the fossil skull of Proconsul africanus on Rusinga Island in Lake Victoria, and it is dated to about 17 million years ago. This date is already about 8 million years after the emergence of ape-like and hominid-like species who emerged about 25 million years ago. Therefore, 8 million years later, Proconsul was already a well-advanced primate, and thus the name given to him is very appropriate. There are now only 7 great ape species living today in the tropical areas of Africa and Eurasia. Orangutans in Southeast Asia, gorillas and chimpanzees, who are also called Pan, like Peter Pan, or the first hunting god Pan of the Greeks. They are only found in Africa and are more related to us than to the orangutans. Orangutans can be found in Sumatra and Borneo, which are islands near the country of Indonesia. Chimpanzees are called Pang troglodytes and pygmy chimps. This is interesting because ancient scholars called the ancient peoples who lived in the caves in Ethiopia and the Middle East troglodytes, and they named the small-sized hunter-gatherers found in Africa pygmies. The pygmies were shorter than the other Africans, such as the African Neolithic people of the Sudan. This shows a continuation of the naming in the written history, linking the connections to get together for us. Bonobos are also called pygmy chimps because of their similarity. Gibbons are also considered great apes, but are of the different family called Hylobatidae and are found in Southeast Asia. The gibbons also share a lineage with the orangutans. The gibbons practice lifelong monogamy, duet singing, are territorial in the range of their home, and can move very fast and swing quickly from branch to branch. Now, giving all the credit due to the authors and contributors of the current source I am using here for this information from the book called World Atlas of Great Apes and Their Conservation, I don't want to have to cite excessively from this book, and I don't want to leave anything out from my notes, so I will just cite a large block of a wealth of information altogether below because it is important. I have not studied the great apes very extensively on my own, so I'm relying on the sources for the information. As far as great apes are concerned, I consider the most critical point to be the fruit diet and how it relates to longevity and a normal lifespan for humans. I provide some more relevant information from my sources on great apes below so that we can become familiar with the basics. Caldecott says that cave deposits in Vietnam date to about 500,000 years ago and contain remains of orangutans that are mingled with fossils of Homo erectus. Cooked orangutan bones dated to about 35,000 years ago have been found in caves of Naya in Sarawak, Borneo. Richard Owen, an anatomist, determined humans to be separate from other apes because other apes did not have a hippocampus minor in the brain, and the inner and middle ear protected by the auditory bulla is unique to primates. The origin of primates is still not settled, and it is estimated that only 1% of all species ever known to have existed in the world have been discovered, and that only 7% of the primates are known. 7% of all thought to have existed are known. It is interesting to note that the mutations of mitochondrial DNA appear to occur more quickly than in other DNA, and that the cytochrome C molecule runs slowly and is essential to metabolism and cannot be changed. These two things should be investigated further for the clues into longevity and immortality. Cytochrome C can be used to discover relationships between eukaryotic lineages. Cytochrome C is vital to metabolism, and it cannot be changed through significant mutations without lethal effects occurring. Because of this, they are only allowed to experience minor, harmless mutations. The last common ancestor of primates is estimated to be about 80 to 90 million years ago. The earliest fossils of primates found is dated to 54 to 55 million years ago. They came from a common ancestor and from two distinct groups of species, the superfamilies of Omamyoidea and Adapoidea, who are prosimians who consist of about 200 known species. Their body sizes range from between 50 grams and up to 8 kilograms, so they are small primates. The rise of primates coincides with the rise of flowering plants, which are angiosperms, and the development of complex tropical forests and a wide range of fruiting trees. Therefore, God created primates and fruit together for a reason. The authors argue that primates evolved to take advantage of these fruits and flowers on the trees, branches, and bushes. The fruits would have also attracted insects and invertebrates that primates may have fed on. Simian fossils have been found dating to about 50 million years ago in North Africa in the Fayum in Egypt. They were also found during the Oligocene about 37 million years ago in the Arabian Peninsula. The lineages of these include the apes and the Old World monkeys. The best known example is of Egyptopithecus, who predates the ape and the Old World monkeys, who diverged from each other about 30 to 22 million years ago. About 30 to 5 million years ago is the era of the apes. The lineages became widespread across the land, and over 100 distinct species have been identified in Africa, Europe, and Asia. This is only a fraction of the fossils supposed to exist from the beginning of the Miocene down to about 15 to 17 million years ago, and all are confined to Africa. Proconsul is included, and its size is a little larger, up to about 80 kilograms, and seems to be strictly a fruit eater. Frugivores are a specific species. Proconsul, as mentioned before, does not have a tail, which is a characteristic of all modern apes. They lived in trees, traveled on all four legs, and had large, strong forearms from swinging on branches. At about 15 to 17 million years ago, they spread to Eurasia by a land bridge. They spread quickly across the continent, and there is fossil evidence of apes found in Eurasia between 14 and 8 million years ago. There have not been very many fossils found in Africa at this same period, and the authors think it is due to looking for fossils in earlier periods instead. The human tree begins with gibbons splitting off first at about 14.9 million years ago. Orangutans came next at about 11.3 million years ago, and then gorillas at about 6.4 million years ago. Then the chimps at 5.5 million years ago, and the bonobos, and finally at about 5.4 million years ago, humans split off. An important fact is that the surviving African apes, including hominids, arose from a secondary invasion of Eurasia from Africa during the mid to late Miocene period. So between about 12 million and 5.4 million years ago. The split between chimps and humans occurred between about 6.6 to 4.3 million years ago. Humans have a much larger brain than all the other primates, and the major increase in brain size occurred about 2 million years ago. Therefore, for at least 2 million years, we have had the capacity for higher intelligence. Okay? So I created to summarize the dates here, I just took the dates out and put them on a separate sheet. So from 90 to 80 million years ago is the estimation of the primate's last common ancestor. So that's our very beginning. And then from 55 to 54 million years ago, the earliest primate fossils were found, and they were prosimians, which is the little small primates. And they may look something like this here, like the little lemurs, black and white lemurs. But there are many other different prosimians as well. And then About 50 million years ago, simian primate fossils are found in Egypt. So that's a long time ago for evidence found in Egypt. And then 25 million years ago is the emergence of the apes and the hominids. So now they're becoming more like us about 25 million years ago. So it took about roughly 60 million years for evolution, for primates to evolve into apes and human-like primates. And then 17 million years ago, we get the advanced primate, the proconsul, with no tail, and who was able to spread to Eurasia. Then 15 million years ago, the gibbons split off from the branch. 11.3 million years ago, the orangutan split off. 6.4 million years ago, the gorillas split off. 5.5 million years ago, the chimps split off. 5.4 to 4.4 million years ago, the humans split off. And then 2 million years ago, humans get a major increase in their brain size. So it took about 2 million years ago for humans to evolve into a more advanced human. And then 500,000 years ago, we see evidence of humans interacting with orangutans. And then 35,000 years ago, we see evidence of, it looks like humans might have been eating orangutans. And this is in Asia and Southeast Asia and the islands around Indonesia. Okay, that's it for this lecture and presentation. Thank you for listening, and take care and have a good day.